Now, Miami is eyeing Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's reportedly open to leaving Milwaukee, making Heat a top potential destination. But Pat Riley's Godfather leadership clashes with today's stars, who want respect and collaboration, not just results. Can Riley adapt and land Giannis, or will his old school style hold the Heat back? That's from Brandon Scoop Robinson. So the Miami Heat are eyeing Giannis Antetokounmpo. That part is real. League sources tell me that Pat Riley and the Miami Heat organization have quietly explored scenarios where the two-time MVP could eventually be pried away from Milwaukee. But here's the twist. I'm hearing Giannis isn't feeling Pat Riley, and that might be a bigger hurdle than Miami expected. The sentiment is not isolated to the Greek Freak. It's a growing feeling among substance stars, past and present, even the ones who suited up in South Beach. I'm talking about LeBron James, I'm talking about Jimmy Butler, and the thread that connects it all is Riley. Giannis is the type of star who values empowerment and input and authenticity. Multiple sources familiar with his thinking describe a player who's less inclined to play for a soldier and more interested in collaboration. Miami Heat's culture might appeal on the surface, the grind, the structure, the expectation of excellence, but not when it's a top-down, one-voice-only operation, and that's how some players are starting to view Riley's Miami Heat. More about control than collaboration. Jimmy Butler's Miami Heat marquee face clashed behind the scenes with the Miami Heat front office, sources say, and LeBron, he brought rings to Miami, then bounced. The writing was on the wall. My biggest thing about Giannis is, listen, the Miami Heat will give you control to some degree. However, when you had control in Milwaukee, look what you did with this whole Damian Lillard trade. You told the Milwaukee Bucks to go trade Jrue Holiday. Why would you do that when he was the missing piece? He was the reason why you guys won an NBA championship. Okay, so whenever you're in control, you're messing up the team. I think that Giannis, he's a great overall talent. Do the Miami Heat have their bad ways? Of course. Have they changed a lot? Yes. Pat Riley said that they make group decisions. Obviously, they're not going to consider what Giannis has to say. They're going to consider what he has to say. Let's say they trade for Giannis, even though I don't think it's possible. I don't see the Miami Heat having the assets. I understand a lot of people are saying that Giannis can force his way to the Miami Heat, but we've heard that before, and look where that got us, with nobody. But all I'm saying is that these players have to realize that Pat Riley's structure is not necessarily a bad thing. Being in shape, holding people accountable, and actually being willing to go all in, being 100% on defense, those are things that every single team should have. The same structure that the Miami Heat have, every NBA franchise should have. Because when you don't have it, you have Zion Williams, he can't put down the gumbo, he can't put down the oxtail pizza. You have Ja, he can't put down the gun. Okay, you have LaMelo Ball. Like these guys, bro, there's no structure in the NBA. And that's one of the biggest things. Not only did they get all the NBA veterans out of the league, but there's no structure. There's no one's holding anyone accountable. And that's exactly why you have the NBA full of shambles. But at the end of the day, guys, Pat Riley and the Miami Heat, they're not going to change. He told us this the other day. I'm not saying he's going to be hard-nosed with Giannis or anything like that. But why? Because Jimmy Butler, he said out of his own mouth, the Miami Heat allowed me to be me. And they only clashed due to money. Of course, you know, he's clashed with Shaq, which Shaq clashed with everybody. Shaq clashed with Kobe and clashed with everyone who he was around all the time. Shaq was hard-nosed as well. Same thing when it comes down to Jimmy. Now, with LeBron, did he go a little bit too far with taking the cookies off the plane and all those little things like that? Yes, but at the end of the day, our structure allowed LeBron James to win with Chris Bosh and D. Wade. I'm not saying that the Miami Heat are perfect, because they're not, and they've made mistakes. But I don't think we're as bad as what everyone makes us out to be, especially when all the players voted the Miami Heat. We were in the top 5 of franchises where teams and where players want to come play for. So to say that Heat culture is ruining everything, we might have a bad reputation, but I don't think it's the same like what it used to be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and thank you for all the support.